It was shocking because you wouldn't expect something like that from such a nice place, because Belfast just looks like Glasgow.
I'm not joking, folks, when I say this. This road here, the Crumlin Road, was a very, very dangerous place to be on. Simply by walking on one side of the road or the other indicated as to who or what side of the community you came from.
Like the sectarianism there's even like sort of worse than it is over here.
80% of the people lost their lives throughout the troubles on this particular road.
I knew there was like different opinions between Celtic and Rangers and Catholic and Protestants, but I didn't, like, when I went to Belfast I knew how bad it was.
The idea behind the trip to Belfast was that the young people were working on sectarianism and territorialism within their own area, and we knew that in Belfast that they had been affected really bad by the Troubles, and there was actually a lot of peace wall dividing the two communities, so we thought we'd go over there and see how Belfast tackled it.
When you landed, it looked like really nice, and then like you'd pass buildings with big murals on it, and you could just tell how much of a scary place it was.
When we first kind of arrived just at our hotel, there was a big mural, "Welcome to Sandy Road, the Loyalist Cemetery," and I think they were quite frightened by that.
I was really shocked because I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. It was just amazing what it was like.
I think most of you would be too young to remember the terrible scenes that we had up there at Holy Cross Primary School. But that's where the primary school, that's where men my height, my age were attacking super tots with petrol bombs, blast bombs, nail bombs and stuff like that. Totally ridiculous.
See, when you see all the bullet holes in the nurseries and all that, you just think, yeah, that wouldn't happen in a nursery or here. It looks a lot different than I feel like when you see it on TV and things like that. It looks a lot different.
I was in there in 1976 at Mara Drum, Vice President of Sinn Féin. She was taken ill. She went into the hospital and loyalist gunmen dressed up as doctors walked in and shot her dead.
You're just shocked and stunned. Stormont was really interesting and amazing to see. It looked like the White House because it was just massive.
This place looks alright, but it's a bit old.
Bit old?
Aye. Belfast Eye. We're in the Belfast Eye. Stephen, Darren, Jacqueline,
Jim-Bob,
Jordan, me, Jordan, and Elizabeth.
Well, the Belfast Eye was amazing because we were up really high and you could see the whole of Belfast, and it was really interesting, but it's funny when we were sitting rocking the cart and everything.
The three girls started to scream as the shuttle was shaking about. And this is Brad Taylor for Why Sorted News.
That's one of the girls!
Look behind this petrol station on the right hand side. That's Girkwood Army Barracks. That's the last army barracks you will see in Northern Ireland. And we're about to take you through the peace line.
we drove past the peace wall, which like separates the two different sides from each other.
It's huge. It's like a big massive building, but it's just taller than that. It's amazing. It's just gates, and they get locked about 8 o'clock at night, and you can't cross between it at all.
Dividing Catholic and Protestant and the different faiths, and we got to sign it.
Anybody that wanted to, that was on the bus, the groups that wanted to sign it could sign it.
I wrote my name, and good luck.
Feels strange because you don't think about doing anything like that in your life. It's just a one-off experience.
I didn't know it was going to be like that. I thought it was just going to be like an invisible barrier, not an actual physical one.
All the youth action group workers decided that it would be a really good idea to meet up again, but thought we'd do it more in a kind of fun way and over a weekend.
Because we knew each other, it was a lot easier to talk to each other again.
I got to see everyone's views on Belfast and what they thought of Belfast, and not just knowing my own. Most people thought the same, but there was still like people with their own views, and some were a bit different in their own ways.
A good experience because the way you just knew how people thought about it, and you could compare your ideas to theirs and what your opinions was to theirs, and how they thought it was, if they were shocked and if they weren't shocked.
The last of the British Army just moved out on the stroke of midnight at the end of July of last year.
After the Belfast trip, I did think differently in what I was saying about football and things like that, even like football related things, and it has changed my views on sectarianism. Like, I can say stuff and I've not even noticed it before, but I noticed it more after the Belfast trip.
If they're looking at all the stuff through the workshops, it changes your mind about everything. Like, you read it in the workshops and you go, but it could never be like that. That's just something you wouldn't expect to happen, but when you go there, you realise it's a lot different.
Well, it changed my view on it because I used to think it's nothing really important, but when I saw everything that happened over there, I thought, that's not nice. That's just nasty.
It's just completely wrong, like totally, because it just starts fights and all that.
I used to be like Rangers are better than Celtic and all that, but now that I've seen like what the potential causes of it are, then I'm more likely not to make fun of it and all that.
It opened my eyes to what sectarian was, because before I went to it, I didn't think sectarian was that much of a big deal, and then when I came to Belfast, I just was amazed by it, and it just changed my views completely of what sectarian was.